Hi everyone, Jill Lancet. Crikey, I hope you're well. I hope you had a great weekend. Yeah, here we are back again. So it must be Sunday. You know, I'm retired, and half the time, the most common question in our household is, what day is it? Anyway, so it's Sunday. I know it's Sunday. I've been preparing for this today, and yeah, I haven't got a card for you, but we are going to make this together. And we're going to use a product that is, I'm really sorry to say, it's currently unavailable here in Australia. It should be back in stock the week of July the 21st. So, yeah, it could well, come in before then. You can actually request that you be notified. And I'm talking about this gorgeous, gorgeous roll of washi tape. Have you ever seen anything so beautiful as that? Look how much you get. Can you see that? That's like, look how thin it is. Can you imagine how many flowers there are on this roll? I've had it for a few weeks. I've kind of been pulling it out of the shelf and putting it back, and I thought, you know what? It's just too gorgeous not to share. But of course, everybody's decided to buy it. But look, I'm going to make a card. I'm going to use a couple of different stamp sets. We're not even going to use a stamp from here, but we are going to use the die. It's not in here, but you get one die that cuts out all these flowers. So even if you didn't have the washi tape is sold separate to the bundle. You can still buy the bundle, one stamp, one die, and in one fell swoop you can cut out all these gorgeous flowers. So we're only using the die today because we're going to use the washi tape, and we're going to use some greetings or sentiments from this new set. Gorgeous. It's beautiful. I can't wait to have a play with this. We're going to use a couple of the sentiments, sending the healing power of love, and sometimes life is just hard. It's just one of those encouraging cards for somebody that might be just having a really, really tough time at the moment. So that's what we're going to use. I like making those cards. To me, they are quite meaningful. And we're going to get going. Now, I've got everything here. I want to talk to you about a few things that I've already got cut out. And this gorgeous washi tape. Now, I had to get another little busy box just for this. Okay, so what I've done is and here's my tip for the week. I've unrolled some washi tape, some of this gorgeous washi tape, and I've actually put it on some of that non-stick baking paper. Now I've got them ready. You get these gorgeous mauvey coloured ones. You get these beautiful, beautiful pink ones. So when I roll this off, the first lot I get is mauve. The second lot, as I roll it down, is pink, and it's a complete set that fits the die. We're going to do it, but I wanted to show you something. I put these onto some baking paper just to see what would happen, just to see if that sticks. And guess what? It sticks, and now I have my own washi tape stickers, but we're going to use some of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. Here is a piece of just cardstock. Okay, it's just a scrap, and I'm going to use the mauve ones today, and I'm actually going to peel this off here. I could have done it straight from here and put it onto my cardstock, but I prepared those a little bit earlier. So yeah, I'm actually going to, I'll tell you what, I'll keep that and we will do it because the next lot is the mauve ones. So I've just put a piece of release paper on there to stop that from sticking down when I don't want it to. And I'm just gently unrolling this. Now you'll see where you get to the pink flower. Here we've got a mauve flower. Here we've got a pink flower. That's where I want to unroll it to. I'm just going to lay this down here onto my basic white cardstock scrap. It's proper washi tape, guys. And I'm just going to smooth that and chop that off just where that ends. So you can see that pink flower there. I don't need that. I'm going to pop my little bit, it's off my glue dots. It's my little bit of release paper, just so that I can lift that up again. So this is on here now. Now you may want to smooth this out with your bone folder. Okay. How beautiful is that? Look at that. So now I've got my die. And guess what? I'm going to trim this off. Where are my big scissors? I'm going to trim this off because I want this to go through my mini die cut and emboss machine. So I'm just going to trim those two edges off. I've got some scraps here, folks, now that I can use for later on. So I've got my mini here, my little stamp and cut and emboss machine. I'm going to get the plates out, and you'll see it does fit. It does fit. Now, you'll be able to line this up really easily. You can see through it. I've got some tape here. Let's just pop that over there for the minute, just so that you can see me lining this up. Yeah, very close to the edges. And you know what? If it's not 100% perfect, it's a handmade card. I know I keep saying that, but it's so true. And you know what? Deep down, people really love the fact that it's not machine made, generated, you know. They love the idea of it being a handmade card. So I've got those on there now. I'm going to pop that through there. I love it that it fits in here because, yeah, this is near my desk all the time. I do have the big one, but this is just so handy. And look, it just cuts them out beautifully. So now they're on some basic white background. I'll just take this off here. Now, they're not sticky on the back end anymore, but that's okay because I want to pop some of these up on my card. So we will need our little stickers later on. Look at that. They just pop straight out. How gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, you could use that as a mask or something if you wanted to. I'm putting it straight in the bin. Sorry. Okay, look at all these gorgeous flowers I've got now. How beautiful. How absolutely gorgeous. And that was one run through the die cut and emboss machine. Gosh, look at that. So now let's have a look at the components of this card. Okay, so I've got a crumb cake base, and I've made it tent fold just for a change. I generally always make them, you know, standard open cards, but just for a change, I thought I'd do that. I've got a piece of the gorgeous country wood designer series paper. Here's the scrap that I cut off the bottom. I'm going to use that inside. I've got a piece for the inside of the card, and I have made myself a tag. Now look, I have just made this 7 centimeters by 10 centimeters. This will all be in the description, so don't worry, okay? Or 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, And what I've done is I've just measured across 2 centimetres that way and 2 centimetres that way, and I've cut where those 2 marks are. I've made myself a tag. I popped a little hole in it. I've got this funny little, I've had this for years. It's just a single hole punch, and I just popped a hole in there to make this more like a tag. So if you're in the US, yours is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 at 3/4 of an inch. I've measured across and down and chopped those corners off. If you're in Australia, it is 7 centimetres by 10, and that is 2 centimetres both ways. And I've just put a little mark there, 2 centimetres down, 2 centimetres in, and I've just chopped that off. Okay, you with me? Yeah, I know you're with me. So that's what we've got so far. Now, some of the stamps that I'm using are just sentiment stamps. So that's all I've got to do, is to just stamp. The rest is already done. In that one run through in the embossing, in the cut and emboss machine. So the first thing I want to do is I want to just run the edges of this beautiful wood grain through my crumb cake ink pad. I just want to run it through like that, and I'm just going to swipe the corners just so that there's a bit of extra ink on the corners. I want to make this kind of, you know the word I'm going to use, don't you? Rustic. I want to make it rustic. I hope that's what rustic means. If not, I've been saying it wrong all this time. Oh well. Okay. There we go. Look, uneven. I like it. That's going to go on the front of the card. I'm going to do the same thing with our little tag now. I'm just going to run that through. I'm not, I hope it doesn't come out perfect, because we're trying to make this look like, I don't know. Yeah, well, There we go. Look at that. So we've done that. Now I want to stamp. Look, I haven't made this card. It's still upstairs in the old brain box, but I just want to have a little put and look session. So if I pop that there like that, I can then arrange the flowers and stuff around it. Yes, okay, we'll do that. Okay, so I'm just going to ink this up. I hope I get this straight. And you know what, if I don't, handmade card. So let's have a look. Hope you guys can see that. Sending the healing power of love. Now I'm going to go down a little bit because I want to actually put a bow of some description on there. Oh my goodness, look at that. And I've done it in the crumb cake. I'm keeping it all sort of like kind of monochromatic. We'll just cover that up for the second. And, oh no, we'll do the stamping on the, inside of the card. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It says sometimes life is just hard. So we'll do that. That'll be out of the way. And let me get these scissors out of here because they're just taking up too much room, guys. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit, mellowed on this fine Sunday. Yeah, we're more than halfway through the year. Isn't it funny how the older you get, the faster those years go. Now, look, I'm going to sort of like, yeah, just bear with me. If my head gets in the way, it's no big drama. Okay, life is just hard. Sometimes it is just hard, guys. Sometimes life is hard and you get a gorgeous card in the mail out of the blue and it cheers you up absolutely no end. So this is what I was aiming for in today's card. Okay, now what I wanted to do with this is I wanted to pop a little bit of this scrap on the bottom. Now, I could make that less if I wanted to. I could cut that in half and pop a piece on the bottom and a piece on the top. I'm leaving it like that just because. So let's just get some glue on that. Pop that on the bottom. And you can leave a little border if you wish. I think I will leave a tiny little border. Oh, I was going to actually go around the edge with the crumb cake. Hang on. Look at that. We better get that crumb cake back. Okay. Now, I don't know whether you noticed, but it does actually dry back lighter. So before it looked a bit, ooh, so it looks really dark, but it does dry back lighter. So, yeah. We're just tying it all in. And this is part and parcel of a good card design. You know, it probably would look just as good without all of these little bits and pieces, but this just sort of finishes it off. Now, I think we're finished with that for real now. Let's see. Hang on. I've got to have a sip of tea. I'm a little bit dry this afternoon. That's a really nice tea. It's like strawberry and mint green tea. Really delicious. Right, they're out of the way. We don't need those now. So let's just pop this inside the card, and I want to show you what I've done with with the other washi tape ones that I've done. So hang on, hold your horses, honey, while we get this in here, and then we can play, which is the best part. Okay, so we'll pop that in there. Looks fantastic. It's matte 1, the same size as our designer series paper on the front cover. Oops, a little bit of glue. Hang on. Hold your horses, honey. Now, as I showed you before, I've just unrolled this and popped it on some baking paper, okay? But I had a play and I've actually cut them out. They're still on the baking paper. These are now washi stickers. Guys, think outside the box, okay? I think we'll put a couple of these just inside the card, and I'll show you just how simple they are. You might need, you take your pick tool, and oh, there it is. I was going to say, and if I could find mine, I would. So, yeah, let's have a look. What do you think about that? I think that's gorgeous. And look, they're going to peel off, and you're going to be left with stickers. I mean, you could do this as you need them, but if you've made too many, and I did think this was going to be the tricky part. Hang on, let me do it on a hard surface here. There we go. There we go. Wasn't that hard? Look, washi paper sticker. I think just for a change we'll go on this side. What do you reckon? Oh my word. How gorgeous is that? It doesn't get any quicker than that. Look at that. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Crikey, I hope I'm in camera. I'll be very annoyed if I'm not. Oops, there we go. Look. How beautiful. How absolutely gorgeous is that? And they look so... Oh, that's in the wrong place. Hang on, am I going to be able to? Yep, yep. Yep. If you're very careful, you'll be able to lift that back up again. There we go. I didn't want it hanging outside of the card. Look at that. We just made our own washi tape stickers. Look, there's the backing paper. Ordinary baking paper, guys. Raid the kitchen. Okay, so that's that. So now we can put all this together on the front of the card. I'm just going to glue this straight down. Just bear with me. And yep, nice border. So don't forget, if you want these matte templates, she says, wondering where she's put them. Where did I put them? Oh, there they are. I offer these free. You need to email me. There's no strings attached. I won't be selling you anything or putting you on a mailing list or anything, unless you'd like to be. But you can request them at tilly2145@gmail.com, and it is the metric sizes and the US letter sizes. So when I say mat 1, this is mat 1. This is mat 1 on a metric A4 card. And the A4 card base is 10.5 by 14.85. 10.5 by 14.85. Mat 1 is 10 by 14.3, so it's 5 centimetres less. And that's the mat you get. If you tried to put this size on your US letter size or vice versa, it is not going to fit, because the card base in the US is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's a bit shorter and just a teensy little tiny little bit wider. So if I say mat 1 and you are in the US, you can go to your little list down here, check what mat 1 is, and cut your card stock accordingly, and your card will turn out. So you need to email me so I have an email address that I can send it to. Honestly, no strings attached. Free. Unless you want to go on a mailing list or a newsletter list, I will just send those to you, and that will be the end of it, okay? Tilly2145@gmail.com. Jill Lancet. Done. Business out of the way. Now, I got some of the beautiful Essentials baker's twine, and I've got one in crumb cake. So everything's matching. So everything is subdued on this card. It's a really, really soft looking card. So I want to, I think I want to tie a bow, but I'm really crap at tying them on here. So I might just, I don't know what to do. I might just pop a little piece through and then tie the bow onto that. What do you reckon? Hang on. Let me think about this. Because I haven't quite thought it through. Oh, I know. What about if we do that? No. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that on there like that, and then I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to make a bow, and then I'm going to stick the bow on with a glue dot, because life's too short. Life is literally too short to be worrying about stuff like that. Right, we might actually make it a double bow, give it a bit of substance. Now, look, this is how I do them. You make your bows how you make your bows, okay? I do the good old rabbit ears, and, uh-oh, she says, pop them through there like that, and there we go. We've got a beautiful little bow. Let's have a look. And that is going to go on the front of this. Now, look, you can faff around with a bow till the wee small hours, I can tell you. Right, that's done. So I'm going to just pop that on there, but not just yet. I want to get all of these gorgeous flowers on here. So I want to actually pop the top of this up. Okay, so it's a bit 3D from the card base. So I'm going to pop a couple of these around. just like that, I think, and then I'll put a little bit of glue on the bottom. Okay. So when I pop this on the front, the top of it will be a little bit 3D. I think I want it just like that. What do you reckon? There we go, look at that. Now a little bow, we'll put that on last, because now I want to concentrate on putting some of these gorgeous, gorgeous flowers around. So because I've put these ones on some basic white cardstock, I can now pop them up. When they're like a washi tape sticker, you really can't do that. You've got to pop them straight down. But now I can actually put and look. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop some of these around. Hopefully I'll get this right. Let me just play with it. As I said, guys, I'm sorry I haven't really got a card for you to check out at the moment. What do you think about that? So some of them I'm going to glue down, and some of them I'm going to, oh look, there's a beautiful golden one. That should be on there somewhere, because it kind of goes with the crumb cake. All right, okay, let's have a look. All right, I think we need to pop our base leaves down. So I'm just going to glue these ones on, okay? So just a little bit of glue. We'll have him kind of going off the tag a little bit, I think. The same with this guy over here. Just look, that's all you need, a little tiny bit of glue, just to stick that on there like that. Now, okay, now we're building forward. Okay, so what do we want in the background? I think we could pop that there like that. I think we can actually pop those little flowers in behind there. I like that little touch of that crumb cake sort of wild wheat or whatever it is colour. I think we need a big rose up here. Some of these smaller ones down here. Now some are going to be in the background and some are going to be popped up. So I think I definitely want these in the background. I really like the look of these ones. There we go. They're not totally flat because I'm only gluing the bottom half down. Now I can pop some dimensionals behind these. Just a couple. And then I can tuck things in around them. I like it. I like it. I do like it. Now, let's have a look. No, I think I like that. So we'll glue this guy down. We'll glue this guy down here. Just a bit of glue on the bottom there. Look, if this is bores you to tears, please fast forward till the end so you can see what the finished card is going to be like. And don't forget to leave me a comment, okay? Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you think about this beautiful card. I think we'll pop this one up. Just pop one right in the middle there. He can be in the middle, just like that. Let's have a look here. What else have we got? A couple of little flowers here and there. yeah, I kind of like how you can just flesh these out with, this guy's got to be popped up, surely. Okay, let's pop him up. Put one there. And he can go like that. Coming together, guys, it's coming together. So, where's my other little leaf that I wanted in here somewhere? So we can pop him, maybe we'll pop him down here like this and have another flower. Okay, tweezers time because they're getting a little bit tricky. Let's have a look. Okay, I like that. So we'll put a bit of glue on here, just down here. Some people like this, the creative process. Some people absolutely hate it. There's like 2 categories there, guys. Okay, now we're getting there. I've got a couple more little flowers that I can pop in and around. So we might put this guy coming out like that. I've got another little leaf here. I mean, you don't have to use all of these on one project. Where is my take your pick? Hang on. So if we put those 2, I've got one flower that will go in there like that. Okay, let's have a look. I think this is gorgeous. I love the softness of these flowers. I love the colours that they've chosen. I am not pink and purpley girl, but these are absolutely beautiful. I can appreciate them for what they are. And yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous. So we might be able to put another little leaf coming out here. That might fill that in. Let's see. Okay, so I'll pop this guy here. He can be in the background, just over those, just like that. We've got another little one we can pop in if we need to. Whoops. You just stay in there, guy. Just stay in there for a second. I think that's lovely. I think we'll just pop this one up. So we need a little mini one for this one. I'm going to pop a mini one on the back. And that can go there like that. Did I not put glue on that guy? I'm sure I did. And then we've got this gorgeous leaf here that we need to glue in. And we'll just step back and have a look at that now and just see. Wow. Look, we've got another couple of flowers. We could probably put, should we go out a little bit this way, guys? Oh, look, that space was made for that. Excellent, right. I think it just finishes that off there. And we might be, look, we might have used all of them. What do you think? Let me think. I think it's a shame to have that little orphan one. We better find a spot for that one too. Oh my goodness. There we go. Look at that. He's under there. I think this little guy needs to go in here somewhere. Okay, I'm putting him under there. Okay. Done and done. Now, I was looking at this and thinking, does this need embellishments? So I went hunting. Look, I got these. These are really old. They're cork. Can you see that? They're cork. I've got those. I've got those little brass butterflies. I've got the birds and the dragonflies. So I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I think I might put a dragonfly. I think I will. I'll just put a dragonfly up here. These are so gorgeous and they're so delicate. So what do you think? Where do you put it? What about like that? It's done. It's done. The deed is done. Now, where are the glue dots? Glue dots. Now, see how this is all like a jellyfish? What I like to do is just run these bits down with the edge of my scissors. First, I'll untangle them. There they are. Right. So I just like to run them down. Now, I'm pretty much holding the knot while I'm doing that. And these ones the same. Okay. And now they're kind of, well, they're probably not really behaving themselves, but it's a beautiful bow. So we'll pop that on there. That's our glue dot. Take it off. I just pinch it, put it around to the back. Just like that. And pop it on there. Now, wait a minute. Should it be there? No. Yes, it should be there. It should be there. That's a bit messy, isn't it? Maybe I'll take that bit off. Yeah, maybe I'll take that bit off. And just put the bow. Or I could put it there like, no, put it there like that. Crikey, that was a whole pile of indecision, wasn't it? Oh, my word. Sending the healing power of love. And we could even put another little dragonfly inside. How lovely is that? They've already got the glue dot on the back of them, so that's fantastic. So what do you reckon? Sometimes life is just hard. Sometimes if you saw that in your mailbox, you would go, oh, somebody's actually thinking about me. What do you reckon about that, guys? Let me know in the comments, hey? Let me know what you think. What do you think about this washi tape? I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It looks really lovely with the white behind it. And then the ones that I've made into stickers, they've got this gorgeous translucence about them. So you can see the crumb cake and the designer series paper behind them. But I think putting them on the baking paper, if I do say so myself, is genius, because then you've got the option. You can use them as stickers or you can use them and pop them up. I have been busting to play with that. And I don't know why I haven't. But look, 39 minutes, nearly 40 minutes, and we've made this gorgeous, gorgeous card. I would love to get that. If I was having a couple of bad days, I would love to receive that in the mail. Let me know what you think, guys. Give me a thumbs up. So like, subscribe, share, and pop in and into the comments and say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. You know where I live. I live in beautiful downtown Greystanes, Australia. So, yeah, let's share the love. Let's share the love out there. There's too many bills coming in the mail. There's too many horrible stories on the news. Let's share a bit of love and get these cards out there, hey? All right, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for spending part of your Sunday night with me. Please, please take care. Please, please stay kind. Be kind. Always be kind. And I'll see you guys all hopefully on Thursday. I have an appointment to see my surgeon about my carpal tunnel, so I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, I'll keep you posted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hooray. Bye for now.